Bonsoir à tous, bienvenue sur le plateau Equinox Soir, votre décryptage quotidien de l'actualité de lundi à vendredi, 19h-21h, 18h-20h en temps universel. Comme la menace de trop, l'explosion le 11 novembre 2021 d'une bombe artisanale dans un amphithéâtre de l'université de Buea est venue quelque peu réveiller une corporation plus que timorée face au martyre qu'elle vit depuis le déclenchement de la crise dans les régions nord-ouest et sud-ouest du Cameroun. Les enseignants des universités de Buea et Bamenda ont particulièrement fait les frais en étant la proie facile des bandes désarmées séparatistes qui, comme pour passer un message, procèdent de manière fréquente à des enlèvements d'enseignants. La liberté au terme de nombreux kidnappings a un coût. Tenez, pour les seuls cas de Bamenda, le syndicat national des enseignants du supérieur révèle dans son communiqué daté du 15 novembre 2021 que 200 millions de francs CFA de rançon ont été payés. Le syndicat des enseignants du supérieur s'indigne face à la banalisation de la mort et les boucheries humaines enregistrées chez les civils comme chez les forces de défense et de sécurité. Les enseignants du supérieur demandent à ceux qui ont pris les armes à les déposer pour ainsi donner une chance à la paix. Pour eux, le gouvernement doit impérativement prendre le leadership pour une résolution pacifique de ce conflit. Si rien n'est fait dans ce sens, et en cas de nouvelle atteinte à l'intégrité physique d'un des leurs, les enseignants du supérieur envisagent la suspension des activités académiques dans les universités d'État pour préserver la vie des étudiants et des enseignants. Madame, Monsieur, tout à l'heure à 20h, c'est l'édition du vendredi qui vous sera présentée par Julien Berthe-Bissaï. Je vous retrouve après pour Equinox Soir, deuxième partie. Ce sera le temps du débrief. Enlèvement et assassinat d'enseignants dans le nord-ouest et le sud-ouest, les syndicats dénoncent et menacent. Pour en parler, nous avons invité en plateau ce soir le docteur Jeannette Vauguen-Fotso. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir, monsieur Serge Alain Motou.
Bienvenue.
Merci à vous de nous avoir invités.
Voilà, vous êtes en noir. Vous dites que c'est grave?
Oh, c'est vraiment une pure coïncidence. Hein. Quand je sortais,
pure coïncidence.
Oui, quand je sortais de la maison ce matin, j'ai décidé j'ai pensé aux nôtres qui meurent de part et d'autre, les enseignants, les forces de défense. J'ai dit bon, comme il y a quelques Camerounais qui appellent à communiquer autrement, je vais porter mon polo noir ce vendredi et puis après. Vous m'avez convié à votre plateau ce soir. Il ne m'était plus possible au regard de mes engagements.
Je n'ai pas dit que c'était mauvais, hein, docteur.
Non, je ne dis pas non plus que c'est mauvais. Donc, oui. Je dis simplement que c'est plus coïncidence. Okay. Voilà. C'est plus coïncidence.
Voilà. Merci, enseignante à l'université de Douala. C'est bien cela.
Tout à fait.
Voilà. Dr. Boussi, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sush. I'm very humbled to be here to analyze critical issues that affect our state. I think that peace is very necessary and justice in Cameroon today because in the northwest and southwest and in the north of Cameroon, we can see the use of explosive on daily basis in schools and on roads, and people are dying. I think that security men are dying, civilians are dying, and people are being wounded. People are suffering with trauma, stress in the northwest and southwest, and we condemn all the explosive that is being mounted in schools because it's not healthy for nation building, because I feel that human rights demands that children have the fundamental right for education and they must go to school.
Okay. Prince Mukage, you're welcome.
Thank you very much, Serge Alain. Good evening to you. Good evening to my co-panelists. Special good evening to the peace-loving people of Donga Mountain Subdivision, and a special good evening to those who are watching in the southwest, because they take out time, energy many a time, despite the fact that they come from enclaved areas. Roads is one of their major challenges. Electricity, not to talk about. That is a community like Nguti, that is in Nguti subdivision, where roads is a nightmare. It is very necessary that when you have opportunities like this, we should be able to sensitize Cameroonians, because, Serge Alain, we are living in a country where once you want to be objective, once you want to say the truth, you are indicted, you are given a name, you are this or you are that. I'm happy that today you've brought up a topic. At least it has left primary school, because it used to be primary school teachers. Yes. It has left secondary school. It is going down to high level, which is the university. It means that something is happening in Cameroon, and it is high time that those who have the yam and the knife, which is a CPDM, and that is the regime in Yaoundé, it's high time that they understood. I actually studied in the University of Buea. I know how secured the university is. If people could have access right to the university and even implant a bomb, it tells you that Cameroon is not safe.
Okay. So great message, people.
The message, thank you very much, Serge Alain, for that opportunity. Special good evening to the Message community that is watching Equinox this evening, and most particularly to His Royal Highness Fon Thomas Kimbose, who is my uncle, and to the minister who comes from that area, Dr. Fokalisus.
Elvis, you're welcome. Good evening.
Thanks very much. Good evening, Serge Alain. Good evening to all the learned panelists we have here. Good evening to the people of Gunoko village and to His Royal Majesty Dr. Fomiki Waters. Good evening to the people of Mbemi village from Babit, and to the people of Wumnabuk. And besides that, good evening to the people of Baba One, which is my second home. And besides that, I will also send special greetings to Chief Kombe Augustine, who is the president of the FACO Chiefs Conference. As a traditional title holder, wherever you go, it is your duty to safeguard tradition. And I think that we have an ongoing fight in FACO division for the fact that stakeholders want to seize the land, meant for the elites in the area. And we are amongst those who will fight that no administrative authority will dare temper with lands meant for the people in the Bakwe, that's the Bukwe people, and go free, because the phenomenon is quite alarming there. I will be waging war, obviously, with them. But then, Chief Eze Buruburu One, who is the paramount chief for all the Igbo people in Cameroon, I send special greetings, because, when you are in royalty, you dine with royal people. So that's how it moves. But then, I think that we have to go on. It's a nice topic, and we'll be able to see how we can unmask the kangaroo system that operates in a confused manner. Thank you.
Okay. Voilà, Dr. Wogen, ce communiqué, cette sortie du CINES vient après l'attentat dans un amphithéâtre à l'université de Buea. Il n'y a pas eu de perte en vie humaine. On sent que vous êtes monté d'un cran, la menace est là, mais avant, il y a eu, on va dire, vos collègues de Bamenda parlent de 200 millions de rançons. On ne vous a pas vu sortir en ce moment-là. Pourquoi seulement en ce moment-ci? Parce que l'université a été attaquée.
Je peux vous renvoyer la même question. Pourquoi c'est seulement maintenant que vous décidez de dénoncer les menaces et les enlèvements que subissent les enseignants des universités d'État au Cameroun? Donc,
nous le relèvons tous les jours, hein, docteur Oubé.
C'est pas comme si le CINES est toujours resté silencieux, mais en dépit des interprétations que les uns et les autres vont faire, l'important c'est de poser les actes qu'il faut au moment où il le faut. Parce qu'il nous semble que c'est la goutte d'eau de trop. Nous sommes sans oublier qu'il n'y a pas longtemps, c'est notre collègue, le philosophe Dr Fridolin Nke, qui a été enlevé, séquestré, humilié par une haute autorité de l'armée. Et quelques jours après, c'est une adolescente, c'est une enfant mineure qui a été victime d'une bavure policière au niveau de Buea. Et il y a des enseignants de l'université de Bamenda qui sont entrés en grève du 19 au 29 octobre 2021 pour dénoncer justement l'insécurité qui gangrène leur vie et faire cas justement des enlèvements dont les enseignants sont victimes dans cette région-là particulièrement, et ainsi que la région de Buea. Donc, ce n'est pas tant à quel moment est-ce qu'on sort, c'est que chaque fois on se dit, nous avons des autorités gouvernementales qui ont en charge la sécurité des citoyens camerounais, et on observe. C'est après toutes ces observations qu'on s'est rendu compte qu'il était temps que les enseignants puissent, que le syndicat, autant pour moi, puisse être, comme c'est très souvent le cas dans son rôle, rappeler à nos autorités quelles sont leurs missions, qui consiste à sécuriser la vie des uns et des autres, que ce soit la vie des civils, que ce soit celle des personnels de notre force de défense. Toutes ces personnes nous sont précieuses. Et il est important, si le gouvernement n'est pas en train de jouer son rôle ou si les stratégies ne sont pas les bonnes, qu'on puisse rappeler en tant que contre-pouvoir ou organisation susceptible d'attirer l'attention de ceux qui nous gouvernent sur leur manquement ou alors le retard qu'ils accusent par rapport à cette insécurité qui ne fait que gangréner notre société. Il faut dire que ce n'est pas seulement à l'université de Buea ou l'université de Bamenda, il y a d'autres fronts qui sont le Boko Haram. On ne cite plus le nombre de personnes que nous perdons au quotidien dans ces trois régions-là. Donc la question n'est pas tant pourquoi est-ce que c'est maintenant, mais la question c'est, il est temps que le CINES continue de faire son travail en tant que partenaire de l'État pour lui rappeler ses missions.
Voilà, docteur Bossi, vous êtes au cœur, vous avez assisté à ce qui... Vous avez vu le 11 novembre, vous avez vu ce qui s'est passé là-bas. Cette sorte, c'est normal qu'il y ait cette, on va mettre ça entre parenthèses, entre guillemets, cette menace-là, si rien n'est fait jusque-là, parce qu'on s'est attaqué à l'université. On est dans un amphi, on a frôlé le pire quand même.
Yes, I was there in the university that day. I was in the office when this incident happened, and that same day, the Canadian ambassador was in the University of Buea to talk peace that day, Mr. Moderator, and about 4 p.m. that incident happened in the University of Buea, where children were learning, students were learning in Amphitheater 600, and an explosive exploded there and 11 students were wounded. I want to use this opportunity to say that that's something that we have to condemn. It doesn't happen anywhere, and our security forces and the government, I think that they have been struggling towards securing students and so on, but I think that it's not enough, and I want to condemn the new state actors, the Ambazonians, who some have indicated sometime that they cause some of this explosive, especially with taxis in Buea, where a taxi driver, an explosive happened in a taxi in Buea, and a taxi driver died on a Monday, ghost town, Mr. Moderator. So, Mr. Serge, I want to say that those are things to condemn, because international bodies can never accept such. You are fighting a guerrilla warfare that we don't even know where they come from, and asymmetrical warfare where these people come from and destroy school properties and destroy and killed persons too, because it happened sometime in Bamenda University, as many lecturers were kidnapped on their way to the University of Bamenda from Bambui to Bambili Road. Many lecturers have paid ransom, some have been beaten, some have been kidnapped, and the fear factor is there. Some are nervous and trauma. And I want to say that this problem is not an issue that will be solved in an academic sector. Even in war-torn countries, people still go to school. Go to Somali, people still go to school. And I think that if it's a war strategy or a war tactics that the non-state actors want to bring, it's not solving the problem. It's a political problem that we need to continue to talk. We need to continue to dialogue. So I want to use this opportunity to condemn explosive. Look at young Cameroonians that suffered that day, children with pain, they were crying in pain and so on. Some were wounded, blood coming out. I say that this is something that we have to condemn, because I feel that they want to stop education. Stopping education is not solving the Anglophone problem. The Anglophone problem is a deep problem that needs dialogue, and President Paul Biya already started. His Excellency President Paul Biya already started, and I think that if he has started, we need more dialogue, and I think that we need more inclusive dialogue, because inclusive dialogue will solve the problem. And I think that the problem can never be solved through explosive, Mr. Moderator. The National Syndicate of Higher Education Teachers, I think that CINES they have been very slow, and I think that they need to talk and condemn this act in our university, and the government also have... I've seen the communique, but it's coming late. It's coming late. It's coming late because why is it coming late? In 2007, 2018. let me learn, sir. In 2007, 2018, I think that they have been writing, and we have not seen any feedback, because many university dons have been kidnapped, and some have paid more than 200 million ransom along especially in the University of Bamenda. And when you look at the road there is it's not very good, and it's not very safe, Mr. Serge Alain. And I want to say that security is very important, and I want to say that government forces cannot provide all the security, but it is for us to allow children go to school and look for a political solution, because this problem is a political solution. I want to say that the psychological torture is too much on teachers, and teachers are suffering from a cause that they did not call for, because teachers were calling for a better system of education. They were calling for a better system of education, but if the non-state actors are attacking schools, attacking universities, is not solving the problem, because I think that schools are citadel for knowledge and so on. Because if you are attacking school and you are calling for an Ambazonian state, where I want to say that in the future these children would then be illiterate. If you stop attacking school, you want to bring fear factor. But Mr. Milton, permit me say that even when the University of Buea was attacked, children still went to school, because they have stayed for 5 years and they feel that education is very important. And the non-state actors who are abroad and fueling the crisis in the northwest and southwest and stopping children not to go to school, I want to say that they are producing more illiterates in the northwest and southwest. So it's a political problem. Explosive has never solved problem. It's an asymmetrical war where we don't even know some of these Ambazonians, they live within us. So we have to speak the truth to solve the problem. Explosives do not solve problems.
Ok. Faire les enseignants, il y a ce cas de Bamenda qui inquiète quand même. Hein. Plus de 200 millions de francs CFA payés jusque-là pour ce qui est des rançons.
Well, you see,
quand on sait que les enseignants ne sont pas logés, sont pas les mieux lotis, mais on a encore s'accrocher pour...
Yeah, you know that such a learn, it is a call for concern, because if you look at what the CRM holds, alongside with the ideologies that was put in place by Professor Maurice Kamto, President-elect, we've had the aspect of always saying no to the war in these areas. And despite even our march, September, talking about no to the war, you know, most of us were still sent to the various detention centers, because we're advocating amongst other issues that no to this war in these areas. So if you look at it critically, like I listened to Dr. Busi in his expressions, that shows an aspect of not being happy what is happening, which is but good. But you know, the grammar here that we are blowing is blowing hot air. And now you look at it, if you look at it, Serge, I used to tell these guys in the government that you need to understand characteristics of conflict. Now, I don't know how they go to Enama, how they go to Irik, and what they learn there, but I know they have refused to understand. Because with characteristics of conflict, once conflicts occur, general characteristics, you also have rape, you also have banditry, you will also have even attack on schools. Like he talked about Ambazona like it's only the case. No, such. We condemn attacks in schools. It's very obvious. Nobody born of a human being will enjoy attacks in school milieux. But the question is, what is causing these attacks? There are causes leading to these things. And if you don't attack the root cause to cure it, you will keep blowing hot air every day on the equinox. No, we condemn, and so what? Look at it in Mogadishu. The University of Mogadishu has been attacked more than 6 times, with lecturers even kidnapped and killed. You go to the University of Cairo, that have been attacked more than 4 times between 2002, right up to this period, that have been attacked 4 times. I mean, serious attacks. We keep aside minor attacks and kidnappings. Now, how do you look at it? You see that if you go to Nigeria, northern Nigeria, University of Sokoto, University of Maiduguri, they have been attacked and kidnapped even in schools. So what am I saying here, Mr. Serge? Attacks in schools is wrong, but we need to make sure that we prevent what causes the attack. The kangaroo system has refused, together with those that support the kangaroo system, to hold call a spade a spade. We can come on air and blame on air. No, Mr. Serge, we are hypocritical. We must say the truth, because the government knows what to do. When we talked about it, like what Prince George said, it was from primary school to secondary school, now it's higher institution. The next thing, it will be you, it will be me. I don't know who is next. So at the end of it, once the kangaroo system has expired, they need to go on leave. Because as of now, they are counterproductive to the highest order. That's why the Tobusi, who comes with his own accolades where he belongs to, will blow hot air today, morning, afternoon, evening. But look at Sines. You can't tell me that Sines is not doing enough, but their hands are tied. It is an association. You can only make proposals and you send to the government, and sometimes you strike for a few days. They call the leaders back to tell them whatever is happening behind the table, I don't even know. The next day you hear that on and the grave. That is the kangaroo system. He knows the way they operate in a confused manner. So what do we need, Serge? We have been talking these things year in, year out. If it is coming to a time, I would suggest Sines, please let the minister and the directors in Yaoundé come and start teaching in these areas. Because when a minister or a director in higher education teaches in Yaoundé or comes to Bamenda and teaches, and he hears a gunshot 2-3 times, he will go to Yaoundé and say, La Fela, c'est vraiment c'est grave. Because when they sit in their air-conditioned offices and send our poor lecturers who are the ones who are not even concerned in the whole issue, they become victims, and they become what we call victims of circumstances, whereas they are not the cause of it. But now, why we blame this scenario, Mr. Serge? The next issue is, do we always sit and blame? We must be able to find out what is happening. Why is the government refusing for this crisis to come to an end? Because I have said, Yaoundé is intelligent. The intelligence they have, they know who to meet, how to go about it. On the contrary, Dr. Bussi and his acolytes came up with a fake national dialogue. Look at the consequences. I was on this platform sometime and I said, the visit of the Prime Minister, whatever this Amman Commission, blah, 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 is a waste of resources. Prime Minister left Bamenda, guns have still increased. Prime Minister came to Buea, left, bombs started occurring on Mondays. It's to tell you that these persons in Yaoundé don't mean good. They are confused. If I tell Dr. Bussi that they know what they're doing, don't have lying. They are confused because they don't have anything to offer. At the end of research, if we are honest on this platform, all this grammar Dr. Bussi is blowing from Yaoundé to Garoua to Marangandere has no use now. I would prefer he goes back and tells his CPDM acolytes in Yaoundé, la fait là est vraiment grave. Essayez d'avoir un dialogue inclusive et réel. If not, we are blowing grammar for no good reason. Search, time is now. Okay. Because today it is somebody, tomorrow is another one, the next day it can be me, it can be you. And where are we heading to? In a system that cannot handle crisis. Evidence of a failed government is when you are unable to harness a crisis for over 5 years. It's an evidence of failure, because from now security is almost everywhere. Taxis, you are never sure. Bomb can disappear you in a taxi.
Okay.
In Bamenda officer, gunshot 2 days ago from the areas around Bali, my 90, Bengi Road. I say for 2 days non-stop. It means that insecurity is at its height. You tell me that this Dr. Bussi's government, they mean business, they are confused. Thank you.
Voilà. Prince Joel, cette sortie du syndicat, il condamne, il dénonce et il menace aussi. Je pense que si rien n'est fait jusque-là, vous comprenez leur démarche?
Yes, Serge Allen, I think that it is better late than never. Oui. It is better that they came out, but I feel that there are 2 people I used to listen to. I listen to Emon Kangia and I listen to Dieudonné Somba. They said something. These are people who are consultants on media platforms. The one said something, and I'll not forget. They said, the more the Anglophone crisis stays, the sure separation is ready. Serge Allen, in 2016, 2015, we were not here. We are not talked about a daughter like Tato Brandi that was shot by a military. We are not talked about cases like the young child that was killed in Buea. We are not gotten there. We are not known that we could one day get up and even have bombs in the university. It tells you that it's increasing. Now, Serge, proud to this, the University of Bamenda, where the president of Sines in that part, Professor Michael Lang, had come up with something, even though it didn't come out public. But some of us had that opportunity to have seen it, where they said the reason why some lecturers have been kidnapped repeatedly and killed is because of the bad nature of road from Bamenda to Bambili, where the university is. Say, if you go to Bamenda around the university, even within the university campus, and you see the road, you weep. You will cry. Now, these guys came out and
les enseignants qui doivent faire la route?
No, I'm coming. They were calling on the government, Serge. They came up.
Pourquoi on doit prendre les enseignants?
No, this is what they said, Serge.
Oui.
The teachers, the seniors of Bamenda. I'm quoting seniors Bamenda. Yeah. Under their president, Professor Michael Lang. They said they are calling on the powers that be to ensure that the roads are motorable. Because when most teachers are driving to school, people come out from bushes and kidnap teachers. And that if the roads were accessible, it could be easy to spot somebody from a distance. But now, after they wrote this, and they made just like the national president has said there, that teachers of CNES have already paid as much as 200 million francs CFA to separatists. That's much money. And now says when they came up with this talk, few days later, the government as usual came and poured gravel along that road. Now, the question I always ask myself, says it takes us back to what happened with the Minister of Higher Education himself, Professor Jacques Famdongo. You're going to your village, you yourself don't have a road. It is your villagers who hold you and keep you on a tight seat, few minutes there's a road. I started asking myself, most university lecturers.
Yeah,
no, at least they did something. The people did not have anything. At least they have something. At least they have something that is accessible. It's true they don't have a road. Now, so I'm saying in Bamenda, when these lecturers came back, after some days they came and did something called a road. It is not completely the road. But now, when you see the lecturers coming out today as a one man, first, it tells you the days ahead are pregnant. Pregnant because if a bomb can explode, Serge, the University of Buea, and in fact the Southwest, is one of those areas that people will feel that, okay, the Northwest is the highest hit area so far as the crisis is concerned. But now if bombs are already being heard in a university, and in the University of Buea, and on which day, like Dr. Buzi said, the day that the Canadian High Commissioner is in Buea, it tells you that it wasn't a coincidence.
Il y a un message qui voulait
faire passer. Yeah. Que monsieur, as you have come, this is what we live here. Go and tell the people. It is not a coincidence. And when people still feel, Serge Alain, that we should come, like Far Evis was saying, that we should keep blowing, talking grammar, like he put it, blowing grammar. It is high time we transform words to action. All the different quarters have come out and said, what we heard in Yaoundé was in a dialogue. Let us see it. Take people who headed commissions during the major national dialogue, like Dr. Simon Munzu. He headed a whole commission amongst the 8 commissions. He had one. He was the president. He took over the commission when Dr. Chris Fominio resigned. The prime minister appointed him that as Chris Fominio has resigned, take this post. He took. This is the same person who leaves the major national dialogue and writes a book to say no special status. What does it tell you? It tells you that there was eating and drinking in Yaoundé and nothing really concrete was done. Because if something were done, Serge Alain, why should we be talking about killing? The major objective of the major national dialogue, like the president of the republic puts it, is kill the war. And that is why, Serge Alain, what we have today is anger people have accumulated. I was watching the other day a report still on the station on Sunday where they were showing the Nguti community. These are people who come out in Nguti subdivision and say, okay, we don't have roads. We even have palm produce. We produce them. We have banana. We have mango. We have oranges. But some of these things rot in the bush. And that is why you have people, some people, because there are those who try. People like Ajang, Evaristus, and Chief Ashu, who went there and even said, okay, we are coming to assist you. So I feel that, Serge Alain, the coming is not late. Okay? It is better late than never. They have come out. But where I have an issue, which I want to tie with Evis Tayong, is the fact that they have come out to threaten. I want to tell you, Serge Alain, that I've had bike riders who have threatened in this country, even in Douala. They held a meeting with the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji. The next day, their language changed. We have had even traditional rulers who have written things. The next day, they call in Yaoundé, their language changed. We had workers of CDC who threatened, who have worked for long, who have not had a salary. They even took hostage if you don't do this. The next day, they were invited for a meeting with the Prime Minister. These guys came out, were even expecting, because it's a follow-up story. Yeah. We're even expecting that, okay, because yesterday I reported that workers of CDC have planned a strike action. And they have been invited by the Prime Minister to calm down tensions. We were even waiting, okay, you've gone and seen the Prime Minister. What did he tell you? He died a natural death. So this, we are afraid. It's a good initiative, but where our fear is. Some of these lecturers, I understand this country says, but a Bishop of blessed memory said, a man should know his country the way the master knows the body of the mistress. Okay. I'm saying, Serge, that, yes, Serge, let me conclude to say that. They have threatened, but I'm afraid that there are two things that may tie in around. One, some of the lecturers who teach in big universities like Yaoundé may be threatened that will send you to Nchang or Bamenda. if you don't keep quiet. Some now may be invited, and envelopes, very brown envelopes, would exchange hands. And when these envelopes exchange hands, this thing would die a natural death.
Ok. Docteur Bougain, vous appelez le gouvernement à prendre le leadership pour la résolution de... Donc vous voulez dire que jusque-là, il y a un manque de volonté véritable?
Oui, avant de répondre à votre question, M. Serge Alain, permettez-moi de revenir sur les propos des panélistes. Je ne pense pas qu'on soit ici pour juger le travail que fait le syndicat. Je ne pense pas que ce soit l'objectif de ce soir. Parce que M. Mboussi dit que le SINES n'a plus ou moins rien fait. Je pense que lui fait partie de... Il est membre du parti au pouvoir, donc normalement c'est à eux de mettre de l'ordre dans ce que nous vivons aujourd'hui. Donc je suis surprise qu'ils pensent que c'est le SINES qui a le pouvoir. Le SINES a le pouvoir de dénoncer et de rappeler aux membres du gouvernement quelle est leur responsabilité vis-à-vis de nous. Et c'est justement parce que les autorités ne sont pas en train de faire leur travail que le SINES a recensé un certain nombre d'actes et a dit, si la situation ne change pas, le SINES va donc appeler les enseignants de ces universités-là à cesser toute activité académique parce que on se disait que avec le temps qui passe, la paix finira par régner, mais on se rend compte que on n'est plus... Avant, on entendait que les sécessionnistes attaquaient nos forces de l'ordre. Mais lorsque cette insécurité se retrouve au niveau des campus, au niveau des bavures, il est temps que le SINES puisse rappeler au gouvernement quel est son rôle et que si le gouvernement ne fait pas ce qui est de sa responsabilité, voilà ce que le SINES en tant qu'organe qui sert de relais entre le personnel enseignant, les apprenants et l'État, voilà ce que on fera. Et j'entends également parler des enveloppes. Mais maintenant, ce n'est pas pour le moment le cas du bureau parce que si vous observez, le syndicat national des enseignants du supérieur a appelé à la grève en janvier et en février. En janvier et février, on réclamait le paiement de la prime de modernisation de la recherche qui avait été instituée par le chef de l'État. On a payé quelques-uns et on n'a pas payé les autres. Le mot d'ordre de grève n'a pas été levé. On a payé la prime finalement à l'ensemble des enseignants du supérieur, mais les prestations académiques qui étaient revendiquées n'ont pas été payées et ces prestations jusqu'à présent ne sont pas payées dans toutes les universités. Il y a des promesses qui ont été faites, ces promesses ne sont pas jusqu'ici tenues. Donc le mot d'ordre de grève relatif à cette situation-là continue d'être suspendu. Donc à tout moment, on peut se mettre en grève pour revendiquer ces paiements-là. Et pour revenir à ce que votre collègue a dit, M. Serge Alain Autou, le 18, je l'ai dit tantôt, du 18 au 29 octobre, les enseignants de l'université de Bamenda, autant pour moi, se sont mis en grève du fait de l'insécurité. Les campus sont éparpillés. La route Bambili-Bamenda n'est pas goudronnée. Et cette route-là a fait l'objet d'un appel d'offres. L'entreprise qui s'était engagée a fait les travaux, a abandonné du fait de cette même insécurité. Et donc, les enseignants ne peuvent pas continuer à aller dans un environnement où ils ne sont pas en sécurité. Et lorsqu'ils sont enlevés, ce sont encore les familles qui doivent se battre pour pouvoir payer les rançons. J'ai avec moi, M. Serge Alain Autou, la liste de 20 enseignants qui ont été enlevés à l'université de Cuba. Professeur Ngam Confidential, professeur Aminio Tius, professeur Forbin Eric, professeur Ayi Einstein, professeur Awang Olong Kingsley, professeur Ndongmaji John Niba, professeur Tamung Ngang Estela, professeur Mbaken Kezeta, professeur Mbouffon, lui malheureusement a été kidnappé et tué, paix à son âme. Dr Gildas Lowe, professeur K. Henry Lick, Dr Toume Kenneth, Dr Clement, Neba Mary, Annel Michael, Forge Lema, Mbungan Derrick, Bama Ronald, Kengla John, Fokam Séphrin, Lienou Jean-Paul.
Il faut rappeler que...
ça, c'est la liste de 20 enseignants, parmi lesquels un est décédé.
Professeur Emi Nyon a été kidnappé 2 fois.
Voilà, et ce sont les familles qui payent ces rançons-là. Donc, il était temps que le SYNES puisse dire, je peux lire également cette partie, informe la communauté nationale et internationale de ce qu'en l'absence d'initiatives en faveur de la paix et en cas de nouvelles tentatives nouvelle atteinte à la liberté, à l'intégrité corporelle ou à la vie d'un membre de la communauté universitaire nationale. On entend par membre de la communauté universitaire les étudiants, les enseignants et tout personnel qui y travaille. Le bureau exécutif national du syndicat national des enseignants du supérieur se verra obligé d'envisager purement et simplement la suspension des activités académiques dans les universités d'État pour préserver la vie des étudiants et des personnels enseignants et non enseignants jusqu'à ce que les conditions soient à nouveau réunies pour une reprise sereine des activités d'enseignement et de recherche. Donc, ceci étant dit, je ne vois pas en quoi le SYNES n'est pas en train de faire son travail. Parce que quoi, l'État du Cameroun a les moyens d'appeler au dialogue pour que, d'appeler même à un cessez-le-feu. On ne veut pas savoir qui a raison. Même si les va-t-en-guerre se retrouvent également dans le corps des enseignants, mais on appelle toujours les uns et les autres à la raison pour que on s'arrête à un moment pour dire qu'est-ce qui fait problème. De part et d'autre, on va faire des propositions. On ne leur demande pas, par rapport à leur sécurité, autant pour moi, de tenir cette rencontre au Cameroun. Il y a plusieurs pays en Afrique où ils peuvent se retrouver et demander et poser leurs conditions. Le gouvernement, de son côté aussi, va poser ses conditions. Dommage que le cardinal Christian Toumi ne soit plus, parce qu'il pouvait faire partie des personnes pouvant participer, pouvant prendre part, autant pour moi, à cette négociation-là. Mais on continue d'avoir des personnes, ressources qu'on peut écouter à un moment donné et mettre un stop. Parce que la question qu'on se pose finalement, c'est est-ce que cette guerre, à qui profite finalement cette guerre-là? Est-ce que ce sont vraiment les sécessionnistes qui profitent de la guerre? Et regardez toutes ces familles qui ont perdu, qui un fils, un frère, un mari, un père. On va dire que les gens ont signé sur l'honneur, mais on ne signe pas sur l'honneur pour aller mourir. Donc, le SYNES profite encore de ce plateau pour dire qu'il est vraiment temps que les uns et les autres s'arrêtent à un moment donné et qu'on négocie. Et puis, ce qu'on peut céder, on cède. Ce qu'on ne pourra pas céder, il y a toujours des décisions à court, à moyen et à long terme.
Do you want to add something?
Yes, I want to add something, Mr. Serge. I think from the communique we read and the names concerning those who have been kidnapped, with ones already dead, it's a call for concern. Now, in my own point of view, because I understand the government always understand things that it's always a child's play. Now, in my own point of view, I would suggest Prime Minister, head of government who's listening to us and watching this program right away, and the powers that be at the presidency, please help us get, because I know when you are working at the Ministry of Higher Education, most of them are lecturers, they're educated, most of them are doctors, professors. Please, we will need a prime ministerial decree added with a presidential decree to redeploy those who are working at the Ministry of Higher Education to Bamenda. Because if you are head of department, or you are chief of service, or you are sub-director, it means you can teach. So let us redeploy them to Bamenda. So when they get the temperature in Bamenda, the other teachers who are there, please, they can come and rest at the ministry in Yaoundé for 2-3 months. Let these other ones go there. When they hear guns 2-3 times, they will bring the rest of it to Yaoundé.
Ça pose justement ce problème. Je voulais embrayer là. Il y a quelques jours, des enseignants du secondaire ont vu leur solde suspendu pour, entre guillemets, absentéisme. Ils disent qu'ils ne peuvent pas continuer à enseigner dans ces conditions-là. Ils ont été obligés de partir eux aussi. Mais la sanction est là, suspension de solde.
Thank you, Serge.
Pourquoi toujours les enseignants alors que les autres fonctionnaires aussi ont déserté?
It has happened with teachers. It started with basic education, secondary education, now to higher education, because the people believe that the crisis started with the teachers, because the teachers were the one who started the crisis, and the lawyers. And
they started the crisis?
Yeah, in 2016, when they came out in March, the teachers were looking for a better educational system. And I think that their points were genuine, and government accepted that their points were genuine. And I think that education is the bedrock of every country, and I think that education is the only weapon or tool that can make a country better. And the teachers were crying for it, and it was factual and it was genuine, and they started deliberation sometime in 2016. But I felt that, and then along the way, political actors came in to this, especially the Ambazonian leaders abroad. The Naira 10 came into this, and the crisis were taken by them. And many people felt that the teachers who started the crisis along the way, they dropped, they were out of it, and they thought it wise that the teachers have betrayed them, according to them, as they call the teachers as blacklegs. But I felt that, I still feel that education is very, very important, because what is happening with secondary school teachers, especially in our remote areas, where secondary school teachers were being kidnapped, some tortured, some were collected ransom, and schools are not even going to most of these remote areas. And most of the children in the northwest and southwest, they have migrated to towns. And you can see, for example, in Buea today, most of the children in the hinterlands, they are now schooling in Buea, and you can see the high population density in Buea today, and the traffic condition and the crime wave in Buea, Mr. Serge. And I want to say that, I want to ask, the Anglophones, are they benefiting from this when schools are not going? Because we have a lot of school dropouts in the northwest and southwest. We have a lot of children who have been raped and so on. And I want to say that the insecurity sometimes too is caused by some military persons who are not really professional. Let's be honest, because there are some good seats. There are good seats and there are bad seats. And in every profession, there are good seats and there are bad seats. And there are some military persons, for example, the one that killed the little baby in Buea, we condemn that. It was bad. I condemned that several times. It was really bad, because children, we cannot be fostering education, and then the life of children are not protected. And a young child that was killed in Bamenda too by a military personnel too, I think that it brought a mental image in the minds of young children, that fear factor, and that to see our military person, that fear factor for our military person, and the trust building to go back to school, not being there again. But I want to say that when you look at this crisis, Mr. Serge Alain, with the presence of explosive and bombs in our school, we have to condemn this. Whether we like it or not, this Anglophone crisis is genuine, it's political, and it needs political solution. It doesn't need educational solution, because I want to tell you that even in Nigeria today, the Igbos and other people, factions of Nigeria, they are crying that they want to be independent and so on, but they are not stopping education, because I feel that education is paramount. When you look at people like Sako, Chris Anu, their children are going to school abroad. We cannot stop education here in the northwest and southwest. Let's look at political causes and solve political problems, because I feel that even in South Africa, when people were crying about discrimination, the Soweto massacre and so on, today I want to say that most of the blacks are still suffering from inferiority complex in South Africa because of the apartheid in South Africa. And in future, if the Ambazonians are fighting for a cause that is genuine, but we need to sit and talk, we need to mediate, we need to negotiate. Negotiation is always very important in conflict resolution, because I call this an intergroup conflict. An intergroup conflict is a kind of cultural conflict, because these people are coming from different factions. They come and destroy and go back to their camps. You don't you cannot identify them.
Excellent lecture.
You cannot identify them.
We are party turn their own day to do that.
What is Professor Maurice
because I think they are blowing this grammar here. Tell your own
what is Professor Maurice Kanto doing?
Okay.
Allow me land, please. Allow me land. So I want to end by saying that we are in a state of guerrilla warfare, and the varsity is a place that is a citadel for learning and a citadel for education. So I feel that our president for SNES is here, and they have been trying their best, they have been doing their best. I think that we have to work collectively to bring peace in our school.
Merci, on va continuer après le journal. Dans un instant, donc, le 20h, et après, le débrief du journal.